Hi, my name is Becca. Welcome back to Raising Them Simply. Here we share all about our secular homeschool as a family of 5. Today we're going to be chatting about our preschool curriculum picks for this upcoming school year. So if you're new here, we've got a 2nd grader, we've got a preschooler, and we've got a toddler running around in the mix. I'm also a part-time working mom as a nurse, so this channel is everything about homeschooling and how we make it work for our family. So if any of that interests you, please hit that subscribe button so that you are notified of future videos, but let's jump into it. So I realized going through my channel that I never really did a real curriculum picks video for preschool, and so I wanted to share with you the different resources that we are using for this upcoming school year. Now, my daughter's going to be turning 4 in November, and she is super motivated to be doing school. We actually started some letter stuff up in January, and I wanted to get our resources and all that stuff put together to make it a little bit easier, because I was realizing that I was pulling from all these different resources and stuff to try to make it as cost effective as possible. And it was a disaster. It did not work out as well as I was hoping to. So we have a lot of different resources for this next school year, and I just wanted to share them with you guys. So first and foremost, we are doing All About Reading, the pre-reading level. We love All About Reading. This does have a lot of great things in it. We do not teach it through letter recognition like they recommend. We teach it the phonics base. That approach works best for us and our family. I am going to do a little bit more research because they teach capital letters all first and then lowercase, and I'm not sure why it is that they do that. I have to look into that a little bit more, but we might change that up as well. But these just have different worksheets. There's posters that go with it. There's like little art activities that they do with the worksheets, different games and stuff like that. There's Ziggy the Zebra puppet, which my daughter just adores. So we have that resource. And then kind of going with that, we have some different just things from Target Dollar Store that the Target Dollar Spot that we grabbed. These are just ones that my daughter was really interested in. So we have one about My First Colors, and this is just something that we're going to do if she wants to do some additional schoolwork while we're doing stuff with my oldest. So sometimes I'm doing a read aloud and my son's doing some coloring or an activity bin or something. These are just things for her to do as kind of extra if she wants to feel a little more involved. So these are some extra letter worksheets and stuff. These are actually leftover from when my son was doing preschool that we never went through. So even though we have those worksheets and stuff like that, and we have a bunch of different resources, if she wants some extra stuff on that letter, or maybe she just wants to do something extra, then we have these resources. And then this one was actually a present from a friend, just some more letter stuff. So we have these as just resources. I have them up here in her preschool bin just so that I see it, so that we can use it if we want to. The next big thing is the Purposeful Preschool from Waldock Way. I have done a flip through of this and another kind of like intro what we're using for preschool, or this preschool resource. I will link those videos down below. But this has tons of games and activities and just tons of really great stuff. She has like numbers and stuff. There is playing activities. She has book list recommendations, morning menu stuff, all this. So we're gonna be doing this. For some of the things, I moved them into our morning menu, and I actually printed off everything so that I would have it. So all I have to do is switch it into the morning menu sheet. So I don't have to print it off as we go. It's just all ready. So I just have to set it up to make it as easy as possible for me. So the main goal for this is just to get her more exposure to the letters and try to remember the sounds that they make, but then also for numbers. So kind of going with the numbers here, we've got Preschool Math at Home from Kate Snow. This is an okay resource. The reason why I got this was mostly to kind of help me be a little more accountable or to think about things that I may have forgotten. We do a Montessori approach to kind of like toddlerhood and stuff in our house. And I was really involved in Montessori when my oldest was younger, but the more kids I had and the more busy life got, it just became pretty complicated to try to do a lot of that stuff all the time, at least for our family. And there were these games and stuff in here were things that I did with my now second grader when he was younger. So it's just kind of a great resource. If you are the type of person that's able to stay on top of that, more power to you. I don't think that this is a necessary purchase by any means, but it just kind of helps. Like if I were to flip through this and I want to think of an activity, for example, if we're doing the number 10 and we have these soft-sided puppets and we're going to throw the puppets to count to 10, but if we drop the puppet, we have to start all over. That game is in here. And it's not a very complicated thing. It's something that I could have come up with or, you know, found on Google or whatever. But this just kind of helps me with that. So we have this for Preschool Math at Home. If at any point we feel like she's got that down, we do have the kindergarten Math with Confidence that we can start with her at any point this school year. But right now, I really just want to focus on the basics with her. I'm not trying to rush her by any means. Kind of going with reading and all that stuff, my daughter is super into rhyming games, and even though the preschool or the pre-reading rather, all about reading does have different games with flashcards, my daughter wanted more. So this is from the Target Dollar Spot. These are just different flashcards with words on them, and you set certain ones out to see if your student can kind of catch the word that's the rhyming. So we have dig, pig, and skate. So I would set these three out and I would ask her which one rhymes and she would point them out to me. She loves this game. She even, like, throughout the day, she will come up with random words herself just to make something rhyme because she really loves it. So we are going to be doing that throughout the year, just whenever she wants to, as kind of like an additional reading, early reading thing. Now, if I did not have another learner in the house that was older than her, I would just focus on those things and lots of life experiences and being outside and all of that. I do not think that preschool needs to have anything else. They just need to focus on living life and playing and all that stuff. However, because we are doing other things with another learner, and my daughter likes to be super involved with everything that my older one is doing, we have some additional resources that we're going to be doing kind of family style. So if she wants to participate, she can. So we are doing nature study, and we're doing the Seasons Nature Journal. I actually have a discount code for this curriculum. I will leave it down below for you guys, but it is a phenomenal resource. And it's just a nature study that goes by through the seasons. So there's different things that we are going to be doing throughout the year. I'm sorry if you hear that annoying whistling in the background. I think my fridge is making some weird noises and I don't understand. Let me try to figure that out. Okay, so my kids left a walkie-talkie on and it was making those random noises, so I'm sorry about that. But like I said, we are doing nature study this next school year, but where we live in Minnesota, it's kind of dull in the winter. And so we have some supplemental things that we are doing. So we are doing like a natural disaster and weather unit. Pretty much what I want my kids to kind of focus on is kind of like preparedness. Like if we had a house fire, where do we go? If we're out in public and they get lost for whatever reason, what are they gonna do? If there's a tornado, something like that, what do we do for that? So we're gonna be focusing a lot on that preparedness and stuff, which I feel like is appropriate for any age. So we are going to be doing that throughout the year. And then I also had this kindergarten resource. I have this kindergarten resource that we had used with my oldest. This is one of the units from that. It's the Kinder Science Pack. And I just printed out stuff from the Life Science unit. This is just extra things should she want to do something that she could do. So we've got like the life cycle of a plant. Just gonna pop up. So we've got a worksheet here where it's living and non-living things, and she would cut out these things at the bottom like a lamp, a flower, a car, a tree, a bird, and a person. So she would paste it in the correct section. Here's another one where it's plants versus animals. We have this, and there's a heart. So the different needs of an animal. So it would be like shelter, love, water, and food. So she would have to draw little things like that. So like I said, these are just some extra things should she want to do it. I'm not pushing this on her at all, but it is there if she wants it, especially as we kind of go throughout the school year. If I notice that she's kind of needing some more things or wanting some more things, then I have it prepared for her so that it makes it nice and easy if we get to that point. So we also have our morning menu here. So the majority of this stuff came from the Waldock Way in that purposeful preschool resource, but we've got a thing for the weather, how we're feeling. I made our own page on to kind of teach her how to write her name. I'm not going to show that because I don't share that here on this channel. But I have that page here. Here's another resource. So the first letter we're going to be doing is A, so she can write on here, kind of circle the correct things. And these are the pages that I printed out in advance. So when it goes to the next week, I just switch out the page. We have another one, and she would circle the correct things that started with the sound A. So we have astronaut, apple, airplane, and then we have the same thing for numbers. And then we have shapes in here as well. So this one's for circle. And then on the back here, you can't really see it. This just has the whole alphabet. I just have it there in case she wants it for whatever reason, but we have that there for her as well. As far as any read alouds or anything like that for my preschooler, we don't really plan that stuff out. The Waldock Way does have a list of different books and stuff throughout the year to kind of go with the letter themes that you are doing. So if we don't have one of those books, we might put that on hold at our local library. But my kids love reading and listening to books, so we do it all day long. I am noticing the closer my daughter is getting to 4, her attention span when it comes to reading has grown immensely over this last year, and she really does enjoy sitting and listening to chapter books lately, which is a newer thing for her. And I think around age 4 is when we started reading some very basic like chapter books out loud to my oldest as well. So we might start doing that throughout the year as like a bedtime thing with her. But she's going to be listening to our books during school for our science and our history and all of that stuff. And she actually does absorb a lot of that and ask a lot of great questions. So that's what we're going to be doing throughout the school year. But like I said, I don't really schedule that stuff out. We just kind of read whatever we want to read. So I think that is pretty much everything that we are going to be doing with our preschooler this next year. The main thing that I want to do is to try to get her sounds kind of solidified and numbers up to 10. Those are the big ones. Some other things like learning to spell her name, and kind of the safety things as well kind of thrown in there. And then, like I said, if at any point she shows that she's kind of ready for the next thing, then we'll kind of move on. But that is the main goal that I want to do with her over this next school year. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know what kind of videos you like here on this channel. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you do for your preschooler or what you're doing for this next school year. I would love to know. Hit that subscribe button. It is a free way for you to be notified of future videos, and I can't wait to catch you guys next time. Bye.